Tonight, no deal at the Capitol. Lawmakers from both parties unable to come to an agreement on how to spend the state's budget surplus despite an earlier framework agreement.
Health and Human Services and public safety money, among others, now in limbo. Just an hour ago, Laura spoke with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz about the disagreements at the Capitol and what this means for Minnesotans moving forward.
After weeks negotiating to come to an agreement on major legislation with the state's record $9 billion surplus, talks collapsed this week with Minnesota lawmakers. And joining me now to talk more about this is Governor Tim Walz. Governor, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this afternoon.
My pleasure, Laura.
So before the session ended, there appeared to be a compromise, bipartisan agreement on a lot of the issues like public safety and education. What happened in those talks that collapsed at the Capitol?
Yeah, it's frustrating. Minnesota's in a strong position. Our state finances are solid, as I think most of your viewers know. We've got a record surplus. We're able to compromise on some things like unemployment insurance and frontline worker pay, and we did have an agreement. I think there's, politics always plays into every decision. It's unfortunate because I think if the Senate would come back to the table, we're very, very close on getting these. And just so Minnesotans know, what's at stake here is the largest tax cut in Minnesota's history, education funding that will make sure that property taxes stay low and each school has their ability to deliver, especially on special ed, and that we're able to capitalize on federal money around infrastructure, roads, bridges, and then public safety money. If communities need to hire more police officers, firefighters, they have that kind of money. That's where we stand. So I still stand ready anytime legislature get together, reach a compromise, but I think Minnesotans expect us to get the work done.
Just yesterday, Senate Majority Leader Jeremy Miller says, quote, Democrats weren't willing to pass this bill without billions more in spending. What did he mean by that?
I'm not sure what the leader means. He signed the agreement that had $4 billion in spending, specifically in the areas of long-term care and nursing homes, education funding, mostly on the cross-subsidy, no new programs, public safety, about $300 million to go to communities, and then our share of the matching funds for roads and bridges. And that was agreed upon. There's no additional spending. There's no more above the limit that we agreed on. Inside each of those spending areas, we were more than willing. We met Republicans more than halfway. In some cases, 60 or 70% of the spending priorities were Senate Republicans. So I think the thing, and I think the follow-up question to the leader is specifically what spending is he talking about? And if that was too much, why did they agree to it and sign their names?
Without a special session, what can Minnesotans expect moving forward with, again, a surplus of $9 billion and no decision on how to spend it?
Yeah, it makes no sense. And what will happen is both in education and public safety, communities will being asked to make an untenable choice. They're going to have to look towards property taxes if they're going to try and meet some of those needs. We know that not every community's public safety need is the same. I was in Duluth yesterday, and what they really need is another new fire truck. What some communities need is more police officers. We've seen post-COVID, both across the nation and globally, we've seen some crimes tick up. We at the state are trying to do what we can do to assist state patrol and some of those things. But the bottom line is local communities know best. I traveled to Rochester, I traveled to Duluth, I traveled across the state. And what they said was, just give us the money and we will be able to invest it. So that's exactly what I put forward. No strings attached, $300 million to go to local communities to do their public safety needs. The same thing true on education spending. The federal government requires us to deliver, and rightfully so, special ed services to our students who have needs. Those did not come with federal dollars, but yet the law says we must deliver them. So we said, let's just put the $1 billion into that. No new programs, no anything else. So I think if Minnesotans are asking the question, why in the world would we not have these resources to deal with it? I'm in agreement with them. And I would sign that piece of legislation today. So I think the alternative is local communities were going to be asked to try and figure out. And what we're seeing is that will mean cuts. It's hard right now to hire in any area. Mm-hmm. 3 areas that are particularly difficult are in healthcare, in policing and firefighting, and in teaching. And these are, again, these are Minnesotans' dollars that can go back, and we're still talking about, please keep in mind, the single largest tax cut since 1858. And that is all ready to be signed. We just need to get an agreement.
And I'm hearing you say you're willing to come to the table. Some Senate Republican leaders are not, according to you. Do you think this will hurt your re-election chances come November with no agreement, no special session, these decisions not being made?
Well, I would hope Minnesotans would see through that. That's not my major concern. My major concern is making sure, as we see prices going up again, global inflation is there. We know that from gas prices to food prices, Minnesotans have an ability, and I still will make the case, why don't we just send back the money to Minnesotans in the form of a check so that they can pay the bills with that? If the legislature can't decide what to do with it, I certainly believe Minnesotans can. So I would certainly hope, Laura, that this isn't about politics to try and punish me at the expense of Minnesotans, because otherwise it makes no sense. And I want to be very clear. Yesterday, Republicans said there will be no more offers made. And I said, I will continue to make offers to them. Tell me where specifically you think that we're asking for too much and what we can do to reach a compromise. So I would just ask them to come back to the table. Minnesotans are expecting us to do that. I'm not getting everything I wanted. And in fact, in education, I had some what I thought were really good proposals. I gave up all of them to try and reach a compromise.